All right, Madison, I wanted to give you a little video update on Lilo. I've been promising to make you one of these, and the weather hasn't been cooperating. Sit. And anyway, we got busy, and anyway, finally got an opportunity to come out and shoot you a video of Lilo. I wanted to talk to you also to give you some example and kind of my own sort of thorough analysis of Lilo and what we're going to need to do to make her successful here. But most importantly, how do we transition that to when she goes back home with you? Lilo is an extremely intelligent dog, and it is obvious to me that you have worked with her and taught her a lot. You know, she understands the basic commands: sit, here, heel. She also understands down. She understands the spinning trick that you showed. Sit. But what is important to know about Lilo is about her personality is that she is huge on follow through. To put it, in teacher ease, she's that student who challenges us, who says, "Make me. Are you going to make me do it?" when we give her a command? And we have to remember that with Lilo, we need to give her commands and not a request. So what we're going to try to do with her is work more and more to make sure that we follow through whenever I give her a command. And in doing that, what that's going to turn into is a couple things. First and foremost, I'm never going to repeat the command. I'm going to say it once, and I'm going to make her do it. Second thing is, if she does not want to do it, I have to have a way to make her do it. Okay, now at the beginning, that's going to involve being on a leash, right? So when we are working through what this part of what our training is called is formal obedience, where we're formalizing the commands that she knows, we are going to make certain that she follows through every time I say the command. Now, we can repeat the command and repeat the objective, but she has to do it each time we say the command. That's imperative, because each time I tell her to SIT and she doesn't put her bottom on the ground, then she has just learned that I'm not following through. So we have to follow through with Lilo. And the real trick of this is to follow through more and more when the dog is physically farther from us. You'll notice she's sitting here very politely. She's actually watching some other dogs over here in the yard. But I'm very happy with this behavior because she's sitting here quietly, politely, not moving much, and this is what I wanted to do. But she's doing that because she knows she's connected to the leash. So if I let her off the leash, she's gonna run like crazy. So what we need to do is to teach her what I want and to make her follow through on the commands. So here's what that's gonna look like. At the beginning, I'm only gonna worry about doing 3 commands, because if I can get her to do 3 things and do them really well, then those 3 things will always allow me to establish control of the dog. And we have to make sure that we have control of her. Those 3 commands are going to be here, heel, and sit. If she can do those 3 things, then we know we can get her to come to us, she will be in range, and we can make sure that we can get control of the dog. Sit. Good. Good. Good girl. Now, the good news is Lilo seems to work pretty well for praise. I'm going to lose my jacket here because I'm going to move around a bunch. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the primary obedience routine. And I'm not going to show you 20 minutes of this, but we repeat this a lot. And when you get her home, sit. You'll need to repeat it as well. And this is all about repetition. So it's reps. And I'll get her started on it so that she's good at it. But the reality is, you're going to need to continue to enforce this at least 4 months, and really, to some extent, throughout her whole life. So let me show you what this is supposed to look like. All right, we're here at the sit. She's sitting, yes, good. Sit, right? And she's in the heel position. No, down, no. Good girl. Simply do not tolerate jumping. So what I'm going to do, here, heel, sit. So we let her get in front. We give her the here command to come in. We bring her to heel, and then we sit. All right? that is the basic mechanism. Let me show you that again. Here, Lilo, heel, sit, good, good girl. Now, we can use her name as a cue if she's not looking at us. Lilo, hey, hey, good. Heel, heel. Lilo, here, heel, sit. Now, when we're doing this, we need to be businesslike with her. We need to be firm, not harsh, but firm. And what we're looking at, what I look at when I'm doing these drills, I am reading the dog to see, one, if she's getting the message, and two, if I am pushing her too hard. Now, if she is following the drill, all right, and generally working with me, that's what I want to see. If her nose is on the ground, I don't like that. I'm going to start correcting that nose on the ground, because then she's doing her thing, not my thing. So I'm going to try to keep her from putting her nose on the ground. All right, so we want to avoid the nose on the ground and keep moving with me, right? But then in order to know if I'm being too harsh with her, we read the tail. The tail tells us how she is feeling. If her tail is down, she is afraid and we've been too harsh and it's been too long or too much, right? If the tail is up, up and, moving and wagging, that's great. That's what we want to see, okay? So the tail is kind of the gauge of how she is feeling. And virtually always, Lilo, the tail is up high and happy. Again, that's part of that dog who's very confident, very intelligent, and works quite well. Let me show you a few more reps of what this can look like when we start using some different patterns, and we'll start to make it more complicated over the next couple of weeks. All right. Lilo, heel. No. No. Good girl. So I want to do inside turns, which means I'm going to turn at the dog to my left, like this, because then she has to move out of the way. She has to pay attention to me when I step to the inside. No, good girl. We want her looking at me, or at you when she's back home. Heel, sit, good girl. Then we can do some outside. Heel, where I turn to the right. We should see that the lead should be loose 99% of the time. The only time that lead gets tight, sit, is when I want to apply a correction. So the lead should be slack and loose, and then we use that pull to tell her, I need you to do something different. Now, Lilo's making great progress, but this is going to be something, like I said, we're going to have to enforce with her, really her whole life to some extent. Because as soon as I let her off this leash, she's going to go be her own dog. Let me show you what I mean. All right, all done. Good girl. All right, all right. And immediately, she's jumping around. She's going to be her own dog. She's probably going to try to jump on me. She's going to run off, and go be a dog. And that's okay. We need to do some of that too. We don't want it to all just be, rules, 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 control, control, control. But really the stuff she needs to focus on is that control. So she just, there goes her out chasing a bunny. It's important to let her be a dog too. But anyway, she's making great progress, but we still got a long way to go. We're getting there.